Well, hello everyone, this is Cesar, and today we are going to take care of my beautiful Custom 24 wood library, artist grade, whatever you want to call it, top 10, American of course, PRS Custom 24, which has all the perks of a 594 but in the body of a Custom 24. It's a very special guitar because it has the 5815s. It also has the possibility of push-pull. Then you can emulate single coil, let's say, pickups. Look where the control is. I mean, it's a wonderful guitar. It's a rare one. There are not many guitars like this out there. I would say it's mostly unique. And if I show you the back, look at the neck. Look at that neck. It's not only about the looks. Looks are also important if you wish. But it's a fantastic playing guitar, a super pro guitar. And this is going to give me the opportunity to tell you a couple of things before we start. We are going to do a complete setup. Came with one broken string. We are preparing an all Santana night that is going to happen here in Miami. So I'm preparing some of my PRSs and also my Yamaha SG1820. But this is going to give me the opportunity to tell you a couple of things about the channel. One, I will mention several products in the channel. My channel is not sponsored by any of the companies that I mention at all. This is a totally independent thing. I show you the products that I like, and I tell you what I like and what I don't like, and I tell you what works for me and what doesn't work for me. The second is that there's a lot of misinformation out there because I think a lot of people want to sell you something with their channels, which is a totally legitimate activity, right? Here in Cesar All Guitar, we don't try to sell you anything. We are not working for any company. My recommendations, or if I show you something, is because I really like it. And I want to make this very clear. I am a super fan of PRS guitars because I think they are the best manufactured guitars out there, right? As simple as that. And I have played a lot of guitars, believe me. Anyway, we are going to do a complete setup and we are going to talk about the floating bridge of the PRS to clear up a couple of things that I've seen in some other videos. Honestly, again, things that are relatively inconsistent, I would say. Okay, so this is what we are going to do today. We are going to start getting rid of the strings. We broke one, so we are going to put normal Dadarios XL. I again don't see the need for you to spend $25–30 in a set of 6 strings when you can buy a box of 3 sets for much less than that, right? But anyway, who cares? So we are gonna get rid of the strings. We're gonna cut the strings. If you wanna see how I do it like this, okay? Simple. Nothing is going to happen to your guitar. Anyway, in this case, the strings are practically totally loose because it came back from the studio with a broken string. And now, first things first. What are the steps? First of all, we get rid of the strings, we clean it, etc., etc. Second, we put new strings, and then with the new strings on and with the right tension, so tuned to pitch, we're gonna check neck relief, we're gonna check the floating bridge and give you exactly the specs. We are gonna check the string action. Once all of that is done, we are gonna check the pickup height and we are going to check the intonation at the end, okay? And we are gonna discuss some particularities of the floating bridge of PRSs. So sit tight because it's gonna be a long video. When people see my PRSs, I receive a lot of questions about my truss rod covers. Those truss rod covers were not coming with the guitars. I have a different one on each one of my PRSs. I bought them in the UK. in a store that, according to my knowledge, does not exist anymore. But I think you can get something similar to this. Look at that. Let me see. It's a beautiful piece of wood with a beautiful inlay. The landing falcon. The landing falcon, right? I think you can get something similar to this on Reverb or some other sites. As I say, I have one of them in each one of my PRSs 5, and they are different. Beautiful. Now, as always, I'm going to take care of the fretboard, so I'm gonna give a gentle pass with the 600 eraser and then the 1200. Again, those are legendary. Bought in Crimson's guitar in the UK too, many years ago, many years ago, and look, still working. As they get exhausted, I go cutting and cutting and cutting, and then one day we'll have to buy new ones. But for the moment, they're doing okay. 600 and then 1200. We are going to protect the fretboard with the fret guard. We start with the 600. Okay, so 600 and now 1200. This one here. Yeah. So now we have the frets gently polished, and as I have not been the last person playing this guitar, I'm gonna eliminate the DNA. Okay, so a little bit of naphtha, Ronsonol, and we will basically clean the fretboard. The fretboard of this guitar may look like ebony, but it's not. It's African Blackwood, which by the way is much more expensive and rare. It's a fantastic guitar. As I'm telling you, it combines the features of McCarthy 594 with the features of a Custom 24 because it has 24 frets, and it makes this animal a very special one, other than the wonderful woods they used to build this guitar. Okay, now the DNA has disappeared, hopefully, and what we're going to do, as always, we are going to use the F1 oil from Music Nomad. Again, not sponsored, is a product that I like. I really like this company, and I may have been one of the first people in YouTube using every time, frequently, their products, some of their products, not all of them. Not sponsored. Now they are super, very well known and very, I would say, well known in the guitar community, and their products are widely used, which I'm happy for them, absolutely. And this is how it is. Now we clean the excess, we take the excess out because there's no need for us to have an excess of oil in the fretboard. By the way, I mean, you will see that ebony and Blackwood are less, I would say, absorbing than rosewood. Probably because they are less porous. I don't know. Probably, yes. Yeah. I mean, the feeling of playing a guitar with very clean frets and very soft frets is absolutely fantastic. Right. Now, before we go and give a pass with the guitar detailer, I'm gonna clean a bit the pickups because they are really gunky. I'm gonna use this automotive compound for, this is a polishing car compound, right? And let me put just a bit here. And I'm gonna clean up a bit the pickups. Yeah, because they were super gunky. That's one. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And let's go for the second one. You couldn't even see the engraving. It is how it is, guys. I know someone who's never going to touch my guitar again. Good, beautiful. Look at this. Anyway, gently. We don't need to overdo this. They get dirty with the hands, with the palm, and with everything. And if you don't keep your guitars in your cases, you are going to have to clean a lot. And now we are gonna give a pass with the guitar detailer. Again, Music Nomad. Again, not sponsored. Beat it in the rag and go at it, especially in the places where once the strings are on, the guitar, you are never going to be able to reach out without a major effort. And look at that, I mean, it comes back to life. Beautiful. We are gonna do it also for the back and the neck. I took the back plate off the guitar because we are going to need that access for the rest of the setup. You see the figuring at the neck, a bit, some people would say it's a bit excessive. Okay, you don't see that. It's with you. You're playing, people don't see that, you don't see it, but it's there. It's a bit excessive. PRS is too much of a flaming and showing and whatever. Guys, PRS has many different models. What I can tell you is that I've played many PRSs. I own 5, but I have played many. And I have never played a bad PRS. I'm sorry. I have played bad Gibsons, bad Fenders, but never played a bad PRS. And never played a bad Yamaha either, by the way. Especially the ones made in Japan. Don, a friend of the channel, has one. Well, I mean, the guy won't sell it. but it is how it is. Yep. Are we happy? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Well, now, what is left is putting a fresh set of strings and starting with all the setup. Okay, let me just give a pass to the headstock, 2, and we are done. We are going to then restring the guitar and take care of the entire setup now. Strings, D'Addario Normal XL 10 to 46. I'm not gonna repeat myself because I do it all the time, but I honestly don't see the need for you to spend 6 times more in strings. Do whatever you want. This is a free country and everyone is free to spend their money as they wish. But honestly, I don't see the need. This is the process. You have seen it in many videos, so I'm going to do just one string and the rest are exactly the same. The other day I watched a video, well, I mean, I'm lying. I didn't watch the entire video because the guy's an a-hole. But someone saying that these lock-in tuners, these PRS lock-in tuners are like primitive or something like that, very, very rudimentary. I mean, you should hear the guy playing. Anyway, forget about the story. I really believe those are absolutely fantastic, great lock-in tuners. Now, allow me just to focus on the headstock. So what I do? I align the hole here so it's easier for me to pass the string through the hole, and then I pass the string, make sure it's sitting correctly on the saddle here on the back. I give it a little bit of slack, a bit, just a bit, and then I just lock it. And though it will be secure enough locking it by hand, I give it just a bit, not too much because you may break the string, and then just simply turn it. And the reason why I give it a little bit of slack here is just in the eventuality that you have to remove the string and put it back. If you cut it too close, my experience is that you will break the string once the string is back on the guitar. That's the only reason why, right? Then what I do basically is I cut it and I do the same for the 6 strings. And that's the way you restring your guitar. So I'm going to spare you from the entire restringing because this is something that you have seen in many videos, even in my videos, and we will come back once the guitar has all the strings and starting the, say, technical part of the setup. Okay, so now our guitar is tuned to pitch, and this is really very important because we are now shifting our attention to the bridge. If you have a PRS with this type of bridge, with these 6 screws, this type of floating bridge, this is a very important part of your setup. And I'm going to tell you how I do this. First of all, we are going to start checking if the bridge is floating at the right height, okay? And PRS specs are very clear. From this part of the bridge to the body and from this part of the bridge to the body, so back and front, you should have a clearance of 1/16 of an inch, that in European terms, let's say, is 1.6 millimeters more or less. So what I have done is I have built myself this little filler gauge, which is nothing but a 1 millimeter filler gauge glued to a 0.6 millimeter filler gauge. So I have 1.6 millimeters filler gauge. Let me just give you a perspective exactly at the level of the bridge. Okay, what I do? First of all, I have protected the finish of the guitar with a couple of posits, one here and one there. Now the purist will say, oh, but you need to take into account the thickness of the posits. You know, pee off and go and bother another channel. And then what I do is I slide my homemade 1/16 of an inch, 1.6 millimeters filler gauge between the body and the bridge. And you can see that needs a little bit of an adjustment here. We will see how we do that, okay? I do the same at the treble side and exactly the same. Again, we are gonna do the adjustment now. If you don't have one of those handmade filler gauges, you can basically take a bunch of posits and make the thickness 1.6 millimeters, 1/16 of an inch, and slide that between the body and the bridge. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. We are going to just give it a small touch to adjust the back of the bridge. Now I'm going to give you a different angle. Well, I like to think about the floating bridge as a lever and a fulcrum, okay? And then it goes balancing, standing on top of the fulcrum, okay? Good. Now, what we have seen is that our bridge will admit just a bit, to be totally correct, of tightening here at the back. When this happens, when the part of the bridge that you need to adjust is the back, sorry, is Bender. Let me open the door. Come on, Bender. Yeah, I mean, he comes and goes. Excuse me. Well, so what I was saying is that when the part that you need to adjust is this one, what you need to do, this one, the back, is you turn your guitar and you come to the claw here, and then you tighten the screws at the claw, but just a bit. Okay? Now we tune to pitch again. And then we recheck our bridge. And still a bit, but still just getting there, guys. Forget about this part of the bridge, we're gonna talk about it now. So we turn the guitar again and we give it a very gentle touch. You don't need much more. We tune to pitch again. And we check again. And we're there. I mean, the amount of movement is practically zero. We are going to call it good. Let me check the other side of the bridge. Perfect. So this is how you adjust your floating bridge in a PRS if the part you need to adjust is this one. Well, now imagine that you get to the right distance here at the back of the bridge, but not here at the front, right? What do you have to do? You have to adjust the 6 screws here, right? Those screws are factory adjusted. So if you're buying your guitar from a good dealer, it should be okay. If you're buying your guitar second hand, you will need to check. Be careful. First of all, every time you adjust those screws, the guitar should be without string tension. So you will need to detune your guitar, release the tension on the strings, adjust them, and then tune again, tune to pitch, and recheck the measurement, okay? Now, if you need to tighten them, it's because the bridge would be too high here. And if you need to loosen them, it's because the bridge would be too low here, okay? I own 5 PRSs and I have played many of them. In very rare occasions, I have had to touch the 6 screws. But if you do, don't worry, it's okay, but do it without string tension, because if not, you can ruin the knife edge, okay? So, bottom line, first, this part, the claw, and second, if you need to adjust the front, because once you get to the right distance here at the back, still there is an issue here at the front, you need to adjust the 6 screws here, do it without the string tension, and every time you are going to measure your distance, tune to pitch again. Now it's absolutely perfect, okay? Well, next day, and I could not finish the guitar because something intervened, and I really need to get ready with all my guitars for the Santan night for the next weekend, by the next weekend, so I better hurry up. So the question that you may have, and it's a valid one, is how can I make sure that those 6 screws are at the right height, okay? Are adjusted at the right height. And there is a way of doing that. There's many ways, but one of them, one person working at PRS, a guy working at PRS told me about this, and I have seen some people in YouTube using this system too. Just get yourself a 2.5 millimeters Allen key. It's going to act like your feeler gauge, okay? Then you get rid of the strings. Without strings, you turn your guitar back, and then you get rid of the springs at the claw too. So the bridge will be without any tension, sitting totally flat against the body, without any tension. Then,
just to confirm, you'd like to call that work?
This is Siri, you know, that sometimes gets activated, and I hate this thing.
Okay, I won't do it. To who?
I have to deactivate the Siri. Anyway, so we are having no strings, no springs on the back of our guitar, and then the bridge totally flat against the body. Boom, no pressure, no tension at all, okay? Fine. Then you unscrew a little bit each one of the 6 screws to get them a little bit loose, and then you put this 2.5 millimeters Allen key between the screw and the bridge plate, and then you tighten the screws until they just barely touch the Allen key. Now we cannot do it because it's under string tension and it's 1.6 millimeters up, okay? But when the bridge is totally flush, if I put my Allen key between the bridge plate and my screw, it would be just touching the Allen key. And this is how you make sure that your screws are at the right height, and you only take care of the back of your bridge with the claw. Then again, you put back the strings at the claw, you put the strings on, you tune to pitch, and you adjust just the back part of the bridge. I guess it's clear enough. This is going to act as your filler gauge. Again, without springs, without strings, you just unscrew a little bit, get them a little bit loose so you can slide the Allen key between the bridge plate and the screw, and then you tighten a bit the screw until they just merely touch the Allen key, and this is the right height of the screws. I hope it helps. Now we are going to continue with the setup, and let's see if I can finish the guitar. Here he is, 12 years old and counting. I love this little buddy. So one of the things that some players don't put enough attention to when they're setting up their guitars is the first fret action, the height, the string height at the first fret, the distance between the string and the top of the first fret. And in my opinion, this is a crucial factor that is going to determine the playability of your guitar, one of the crucial factors, okay? Now, this guitar has a very nice low first fret action. It's 0.4 millimeters, and exactly slides there, right? Which we are not going to touch at all, okay? If the first fret action is too high, you probably would need to cut a little bit deeper your slots at the nut. And if the first fret action is too low, you probably would need to supplement that with super glue, baking soda, some tusk nut dust if you have. There are many videos in YouTube about that. In my experience, the PRS guitars come really very well adjusted for action at the first fret. Okay, so first fret action in this guitar, 0.4 millimeters. In my guitar, it is a very good first fret action, right? That's the first one. Second, relief. The relief is the curvature at the end of the day of the neck. Then you put a capo at the first fret and you fret where your neck meets the body. In my guitars I go for more or less 10,000ths of an inch, a little bit less, 0.2, 0.25 millimeters, right? So we are going to start checking with 0.2, capo at the first fret, pressing where the neck meets the body of the guitar, and then checking at the 7th and 9th fret. This is how I do it, okay? And we can tighten a bit the neck because we have room for that. Then we take the key that comes with the guitar, very important. Put it there, and as we need to tighten, we need to turn the truss rod to the right, righty-tighty. And in my experience, PRS truss rods are really very sensitive, so you need to do it in small increments. And again, we check again. We can even, we are almost there a little bit. Oops, capo fall. See, this is the thing with live. And just a bit more. Let me pick up the capo. You got a very nice shot of my head. Put it back again. And then we check again. And we're there. Yeah. We could even tighten it a little bit more. But just a bit, okay? There we go. Just a slight touch. Capo back at the first fret. And we check. Very good. We're happy with that. So now we have checked our first fret action, we have checked the relief, and now we are going to check the string height, and for that purpose we are going to tune to pitch. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so we are tuned to pitch, and we take our fret guru, the best string ruler in my opinion out there. Again, not sponsored at all, okay? Simply I like it. And we check. And this is always, you know, the eternal discussion. Oh, the action. Well, listen, I always try to get around 1.5 millimeters on my guitars. This is the action that makes me happy. I'm used to that action, I'm used to that string height, and this is how I do things. You want to get lower, it's up to you. My advice is probably you're going to get string bass if you go much lower than that. Around 1.5 millimeters, which is around 1/16th of an inch, right? And then I measure at the 12th fret with my string guru, and I'm there at the 6th string, I'm there at the 5th string, I'm there at the 4th string, I'm there at the 3rd string, 2nd, and 1st string. So I don't need to touch the screws at the saddles, right? At least the last guy who played the guitar didn't mess up with that. Very good. Just checking if I have the individual saddles even, meaning if they are not disbalanced left and right, and they are even. Good. And I get this question a lot. Why are you adjusting the strings of the guitar, all of them at the same height? And my answer is always the same, is because that way I do respect, I'm sure, I'm following the fretboard radius. That's the logic behind what I do. I'm not saying that what you do is wrong. I'm saying that this is how I do things. It's the same than with the action. 1.5 millimeters is too much. First of all, it's not too much, right? Second, remember that I am a classically trained guitar player and we are used to higher actions. But in my opinion, 1.5 millimeters is a good action, and it's an action that allows me to play my guitar comfortably. You choose the action, the compromise between string bass and string height is your call. I'm telling you how I do things. Now that we have the string height, we are going to do the pickup height, and we are going to do the intonation, and we are going to come back to the bench, okay? Pickup height. For the pickup height, we are going to go with the PRS specs because they work for me in this guitar perfectly. And we are going to be in the bridge pickup at the bass side of the pickup. We are going to be around 2.8 millimeters. And just looking at it with the naked eye, I see it is very disbalanced because I see it's very close. So we fret the last fret. And yeah, it's too close. So we need to take it a little bit down. Get in there. Yeah, we're there, right? 2.8 millimeters more or less. And at the treble side, the specs are 1.92 millimeters, okay? Let's see. We're there. We are not going to touch it. And now, at the neck pickup, at the base, we are going to be around 3 millimeters, right? And it's too close. I mean, I'm totally convinced, but it's practically touching the pickup, so we are going to take it first down. And let me just get there more, take it and we are getting there, and just a bit more. Yeah. There we go. And at the treble side, we need to have it at 2.5, 2.7 millimeters. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, my arm gets on the way. Let me try to find a way of doing this so you can see. I'm gonna take it a little bit down. Again, I'm doing this so you can see and you don't have a very nice shot of my arm. Just a bit down. I remember that they get flush with the frames. And we're there. Okay. So now we have pickup height, and then we are going to do intonation. And for intonation, we have our trusty Kemper as always. Let me give you a good perspective. As always, what we do is we try to keep as close as we can to a very good intonation. Usually with PRS guitars, I don't have an issue with that at all. And what we do is we produce the harmonic at the 12th fret. We tune to pitch first. Let me just move around a little bit things. So we have to tune to pitch. Let me tune to pitch. Okay, so we have our guitar tuned to pitch, and now we produce the harmonic at the 12th fret. See, perfect, and then we fret the note. And it is very sharp. Let me try this from a good angle. So harmonic, and then it's sharp. It's sharp, so we need to take our saddle back towards the butt of the guitar. And then we tune to pitch again, and this is the process, guys. Okay, harmonic at the 12th fret, tune to pitch, and then we fret the note. Still sharp, so we take the saddle back. A little bit more. Tune to pitch again. Very good. Harmonic, tune to pitch, we fret the note, and now it's perfect. Very good. Perfect, meaning it is intonated. Perfect intonation is impossible, it's a physics thing, right? Now, we do the same for the sixth strings. So, second string. Let's tune it to pitch, but this guitar rings, man. Tune to pitch, harmonic at the 12th fret. Very good, and now we fret the note. And this is perfect, we are not touch it. Fourth string. Tune to pitch, fretting the note. It's a bit sharp, So we're gonna take it just a little bit towards the body. Same operation for the nation. We tune to pitch, and now we fret the note. And that's fantastic. Now, third string. Let's tune to pitch because it's flat, sharp. Good, tune to pitch. We fret the note, harmonic of the third fret. Very good, we fret the note. Perfect, we are not going to touch it. Second string, tune to pitch, fret the note. Very good, we are not going to touch it. And first string, tune to pitch. Very good. We leave it as it is. So we have, sorry for the earthquake, our guitar intonated. First string may be a little bit flat. No, it's okay, it's perfectly okay. Well guys, this has been the video. It has been a long one, I know, but this has been a complete step-by-step setup guide for your PRS guitar with the floating bridge. I hope you have enjoyed. If that's the case, please subscribe, and we will see each other in the next video. And up to that moment, please play your guitars, have fun, and be good. Bye.